into another Vlogmas. I have been having so much fun sharing some of the recipes that I cook for my family every Christmas. Today we are getting into a caramel cake. We love it, right? We love it during the holidays, anytime really. I am so excited to share with you my recipe. Now let me tell you up front, I do not care for a homemade or scratch-made yellow cake with caramel icing. I just feel like they don't match. They don't go together. The caramel icing is nice and creamy. You know, it's a wonderful flavor, and then you put it on a dry cake, because homemade yellow cake, to me, all the ones that I've ever had have been, you know, dry. So to me, girl, the box cake, it goes with the caramel icing. I'm telling you, it's a winner. And then another thing I want to let you know about my cake is that I use two of these. I'll show you my bundt pan in a moment, but I use a bundt pan, and it's a little bit of a bigger one. It's on the bigger side. So I use two cake mixes because I feel like that one cake mix, it comes out about that tall. That's just not enough for such a substantial icing to me. I use a lot, if not almost all, of the second batter in my bundt pan. So let's just get into it. To start, this is the Duncan Hines Perfectly Moist Butter Golden Cake Mix. It calls for 3/4 of a cup of water, 3 large eggs, and 7 tablespoons of melted butter. I prefer a cake mix that calls for butter. If the cake mix does not ask me to put butter in the batter, it's not for me. I've got my stand mixer here. I love her. This is my boo, and I love the color. I don't think KitchenAid sells this color anymore, but girl, my kitchen is supposed to be yellow and green. But anyway, I love the color. I love this stand mixer. If something were to happen, girl, I think I might come in my kitchen, grab the stand mixer, and then head out the door. So that's the cake mix in the bowl. We've got 3/4 of a cup of water. We've got 3 eggs that I have already cracked. 1, 2, oh, 2 went in at the same time. And then 7 tablespoons of glorious melted butter right in. I'm gonna get the paddle right on the stand mixer. I'm going to start on low so that none of the ingredients fly out of the bowl. I'm going to start on low and then increase the speed after that. The box says mix for 4 minutes, so that's exactly what I'll do. So the stand mixer has mixed this batter for 4 minutes. I've got my bundt pan here, all nice and sprayed and floured. I purchased this bundt pan from Target like 2 years ago. It's called Original Bundt Pan. It says right there, you probably can't see it. It's a little bit of a deeper bundt pan, and I really do like it. It's made out of a very sturdy material, whatever this is. It's a good one. So now that the batter is ready to go, we'll go ahead and remove the paddle. Get some of that batter off. We'll remove the paddle. So we're just going to get the batter into the bundt pan, and I'll set this aside, and then we'll go ahead and make the second batch. Second batch of cake mix right in. Melted butter. Yes, ma'am. 3 eggs. And don't forget the water, 3/4 of a cup. Again, we're just going to start on low, crank it up after that, and blend it for 4 minutes. All right, it's incorporated. I'm going to increase the speed to 2 and blend for 4 minutes. All right, so I put the stand mixer aside. I've got that first box of cake mix in my bundt pan, and you can see how it's about halfway full at this point. I elevated this cake pan, the bundt pan, because I want you to see how much of the second batter that I put into the bundt pan. That's almost all of it. So let's see about, I'm gonna even it out. And so we are close to the top at this point. I think I'll stop right there and let me show you how much batter is left in my bowl. So that's how much batter is left in my bowl. Almost all of it, okay? I used almost the entire second box. Per the box instructions, my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I'll go ahead and get the cake in the oven. The box says to bake for, I've got a bundt pan, so it should go from 33 to 36 minutes, anywhere in that area. But of course, we've got basically 2 cake mixes in the same pan, so it'll take longer. So if you do it this way, I just suggest that you really keep an eye on your cake, and when you can put a butter knife or a toothpick down in the center and it comes out clean, that means of course your cake is done. So now that the cake is in the oven, we need to get started on the caramelizing. In this non-stick pot, we need a non-stick. I have 1.5 sticks of butter. To the butter, I'm adding 2 12-ounce cans of evaporated milk. That's one. And the second one, this is a 2-cup measure. I've got 2 cups, 2 whole cups of granulated sugar. All of that right in the pot. So now we're going to move to the stove. This is a 1-hour process. You have to have time, you have to have patience. It's a labor of love, but the end result is definitely worth it. So I've got that mixture back here on my stove, and as it cooks, it will change. It will change colors, it will change thickness. You just have to watch it. One thing you don't want to do is walk away from this pot. Like I said, you have to have time, you have to have patience. So I will continue to stir the mixture, let it melt, let it change. Sometimes the mixture will be hot and it'll start bubbling up. Remove it from the heat, let it settle down, put it back on the heat, turn the heat down a little bit, and just be patient. You know, keep stirring. You don't want it to burn, so the stirring is really essential. But just watch it, just stay with it, and I'll show you the different steps and the different changes that the mixture makes along the way. All right, so this is just a check-in. I guess it's been going for about 10 minutes. The butter melted, the ingredients are just bubbling away. I just wanted to show you what it looks like at this stage. It should be cooking, bubbling, and the color will be very light like this at first. Again, it'll change colors. Sometimes it'll bubble up a lot. It'll just go through stages, but make sure that you stay at the pot. I've got a chair literally sitting right at my stove. So I will be here for the next 45 minutes or so, just monitoring it, stirring, and being patient. All right, I wanted to show you this stage where the mixture will bubble up a lot. Sometimes it'll get close to the rim of your pan. So you want to make sure that you are stirring. You want to make sure that it doesn't go above the rim of your pan. And you know, you just want to keep an eye on it like I was saying before. So don't leave your pan. I'm sitting here right at the stove. You will probably need to really stir it a lot at this particular stage. It will stop bubbling up like that at a certain point, and it'll start changing colors. You know, of course, we're looking for that really nice deep caramel color. It won't be loose like this. It'll be thicker. So more patience, more stirring, but I just wanted to show you this stage of the process. All right, we are doing another check-in. You can see that the color has changed. It's slightly thicker. You can see how it's sitting on my spoon just a little bit. Yeah, it's really coming together. We are probably about 40 minutes into this process, so maybe another 20 minutes or so. Still being patient, still stirring, keeping it on medium heat. All right, this is probably our final check-in. Can you see how that's pulling away like that? That's when you know it's done. Also, when you place it on a saucer and it sits up like that, when it looks like it can frost a cake, you know you're done. The color is beautiful. It sits up on my spoon like that. This is caramel icing. So we're going to take this off of the heat. I just added 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I am incorporating that into this frosting. We will let this sit here and cool, and then we'll frost the cake. I'm back, and this beautiful cake has been cooling off for about 2.5 hours, and she is so ready for the icing, and so am I. I just pulled my cake plate from back there. We're just going to invert this cake and pray that it comes out nice and easy. Ooh, look at that. Really good. Did a really good job of spraying the pan and also using flour. That was great. Came out really easy. Look at that cake. See what I mean about using 2 boxes of cake mix? It really makes a difference in, of course, the height of the cake. It's more substantial looking. It just does so much better with a thicker frosting, which is what that caramel icing will be. I've got the caramel icing right here in the pot, and we're going to use an offset spatula. I've got a little baby one right here that I really like, and we're gonna just frost the cake together. That looks so good, but trust me when I tell you, you will not learn how to frost a cake by watching this video. This video is to show you, I guess, my techniques, my recipe for this particular cake, but I'm not gonna win a frosting the cake award. My plan is to get a thin layer of the frosting on the cake first, and then go back and put another layer on top of that. I hope that works. I am pretty much done with the first layer. It is not, you know, a knockout gorgeous looking thing, but I promise you it's delicious. Let me go ahead and get the second layer on, and then we'll be done. My husband is going to be very happy. Very unattractive. I see it, y'all. It's very unattractive, but I promise you the recipe for this caramel icing, mwah, chef's kiss. If you've ever wanted to be able to make it at home for yourself, I got you. Here we go. That's the recipe. I guarantee you it will be a cake that you and your family will fall in love with. Thank you so much for being here today. I really did have fun baking this delicious cake with you. I hope that you use this recipe for you and your family, and I will see you on tomorrow's Vlogmas video. Bye-bye.